we're going to talk about which team has the highest expectations for this year. Tyrese Halliburton had some comments in a GQ interview. He says, all I keep seeing is who's going to win the East. Boston, Milwaukee, New York, or Philly. It's like, what are we doing not being included? People didn't watch us play until the playoffs. That respect comes with winning, and it's coming. Now, this is him talking about the expectations in the league. A Reddit user asked, which team has the most pressure to perform next season? It's still kind of early, to tell or whatever the case may be. But we've got to criticize some people. We just got to. No cap. So I ask, let's go conference by conference. Matter of fact, let's go division by division. That's something we don't do often. Let's go division by division and say who has the most who has the most pressure on them. We're in the Atlantic Division. Celtics, Knicks, 76ers, Nets, Raptors. Who's got the most pressure out of that division?
The Knicks.
The Knicks?
You could still argue the Celtics.
Wow.
But you can say that a lot of pressure was relieved because they won the championship. But I feel like a lot of people still weren't satisfied with the championship, though. Am I tripping on that?
Yeah, you are tripping because you're saying
in terms of the injuries, in terms of Tatum and Brown not performing in the playoffs.
Nah, you're tripping. You're saying the Celtics. You mean Jason Tatum? That's who you're talking about. Jason Tatum. It's not
the
Celtics.
Injuries too, but
it's not a lot. It's not a lot of pressure on this super team.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
The Sixers are the Sixers in the division.
Yes, that's exactly my point.
I'm gonna say
Sixers. The Sixers are the answer. Got to be the Sixers. And at this point, if next year doesn't work out, I think that they can clearly say, and not saying to give up on Embiid, but you just have a real answer. We've tried everything. We've tried young talent. We've tried middle-aged talent. We've tried older talent. We got a mix of young, old talent.
On-ball talent, off-ball talent. Yeah. Different coaches. Yo.
Different coaches, different front. Like, we've done everything. New jerseys. They're bringing back the black, 2000 Sixers jerseys. They brought Meek Mill in. They took Meek Mill out. At that point, what are you saying?
But and the only reason why I went Knicks over the Sixers is because how many times we have to do this dance in the offseason with the Sixers? Like, we're having the same conversations every year, and it's like, okay, if we are having the same expectation, the same conversation, is it really more pressure? Like, is it really, and I'm just saying how I'm looking at it, is it really a lot of pressure on this team, or is it just, is Embiid finally going to stay healthy? Is Paul George not going to be Tobias Harris? Like, I don't really see that as pressure. It's just like, okay, I'm over it. With the Knicks, okay, y'all have had this resurgence in the 2020s. Cool. Is it real? Is it sustainable? Was last year a fluke or was it real? Y'all go and get Mikal Bridges. Y'all are putting together this collective of old friends and college teammates. Will this work? Because if it doesn't, we're going to have a lot of conversations about, is Jalen Brunson that guy? Because that was a conversation last year. Would he be the guy to be able to be put in this position to actually lead y'all? Is Julius Randle actually a fraud? Because everyone thinks he's a fraud. He has to prove that now with arguably the most talent he's had in his career. Is he really a fraud? Is Mikal Bridges actually overrated and washed? People felt, oh, that little run you had when you looked like you could be a guy, and then you had the season you had last year. Are you that guy, or are you still just the fourth option that plays defense that we've seen in 2021 on the Suns? Then you got the rest of the Knicks.
The only reason why I got to give you pushback on the Knicks is because everything is so new, and people haven't even properly evaluated these players. And we'll get into that later on in the pod. But like, I spent pretty much all of the second half of last season and the playoffs trying to get people to realize that Jalen Brunson is like a top 4 point guard in the league. And so if you don't even have the correct expectation on you, how can there be pressure? If you're going in there with injuries like from last season, they don't even know how a fully healthy team looks. Everybody overachieved, which I think a lot of people do. We don't even really have a gauge. I'm talking about as a community as a whole. We don't even really have a gauge of who the Knicks are. So can we get time to get a gauge of who the Knicks are, what the rest of the East looks like, and then set the expectation to then give them pressure?
The only reason why I would say no to that and push back is because if you look at last year with how me, Ron, the same way you just said that about Brunson, that's how we were talking about Hallie last year. And when Hallie was performing good, everyone wasn't ready to actually see him as a guy on that level. But because people were having the same conversation you were having of him being top whatever, him being ready to lead this team, when he got hurt and started to play bad, you seen the reaction everybody had. Hell, me and Sage sat on here talking about him versus John Morant, and people were ready to dunk on him. Every game in the playoffs, I had to, yo, Damo, what's up with the Halliburton? Like, it was the same thing. No one knew where to gauge Halliburton. People didn't see him on his level, but because there were fans, because there were people that did see him on that level, when he didn't perform, there was a lot of pressure on him for not performing. There was a lot of pressure on the Pacers to show that they were a team that was that offense could really translate to wins when it mattered. I feel like that's the same situation Brunson's going to be in next year, especially seeing how people were talking about him last year.
I think the difference is play style, because people Tyrese Halliburton plays a play style that people don't like. I think we can agree with that. And then two, I don't even think they even have real pressure. Like, I think that a lot of people think that they overperform, and we don't even really know where they sit. I think what to me pressure is, people have properly gauged you. You showed us who you really are with all things taken into consideration, and then we can properly assess who you are, where you are. If we're marking this off as like a one-off overachievement season, they make it to the conference finals, or the Knicks, same thing with the second seed, like, what are we really saying? Because in hindsight, we can say they just overachieved.
I think the Knicks are still in a prove like who they are phase. I think the 76ers are on a...
We know who you are.
Yeah, we need to figure out who the fuck y'all are. I worded that
Isn't
weird,
isn't that still pressure? If you are sitting around with your team and y'all just went to the conference finals, y'all just had a deep playoff run, but no one believes in y'all but y'all. Y'all against the world, y'all have a chip on your shoulder. Hell, they're trying to run with the underdog narrative that the Celtics swear they had. Like, they legit... I feel like, to me, that is pressure. The pressure of sitting here proving to everyone that you're something that people swear you're not, so you have to prove that to them. I feel like that's pressure. That's real pressure right there. What Embiid has to face ain't pressure. Me sitting here saying, all right, gang, is your knees okay? That's not pressure. Nigga, you just got to stay healthy. Me saying, oh, Paul George, are you not going to be playoff P? I don't think that's pressure because you've done it for so long. I guess Tyrese Maxey, now with the new contract he signed, yeah, there's pressure with him. But that whole Pacers team got something to prove because everyone writes them off as just a one-off.
I think all things can be pressure. I think that I just think that the Sixers have more pressure because we're at the point where, again, all his peers, we're at the point where Embiid's career goes down the trajectory, respectfully, of Charles Barkley, of Dwight Howard, of Carmelo Anthony, or we take a turn for something just a little bit differently. He's at that 27-year-old range. You got your MVP. You've got Paul George, who a lot of people still value as an X, Y, and Z player. You got a young player who can take a lot of pressure off you. So we're about to see potentially you go down the path of us putting you in these greatest conversations positionally, moving you up on the leaderboards of X, Y, and Z, or... I mean, he's cool. He's a good player from my era, but I mean, it is what it is.
Also, not making it to the conference finals, just, jeez, that's a whole different. I don't know, bro. Like, I don't know if this is a flawed way to look at it, but if I'm thinking about if both teams lose, whose pack would hit the most, I feel like Philly not making it past the second round again, compared to even like the Knicks losing in the same second round. Let alone the conference finals when they make it to a conference finals, I feel like the Sixers that'd be crazy.
With the moves that I guess. Okay.
What you think if you had to bank on a 1 out of 10 right now, what would you, the YouTube video wise, what do you think is going to happen?
Oh, no question. The 1 out of 10 because of Joel Embiid, because of who the best player is. No matter what the situation is, the best player is going to hit harder. That's the same with when the Suns get put out early, when LeBron gets put out early, that marquee name, the Jokic getting put out, Luka getting put out, Tatum, if that star player or guys that are perceived top 10 or top 5 even, arguable top 5 guys, they getting put out early, MVP candidates, first team all NBA players. Yeah, that pack's gonna hit hard. I won't even argue.
That inherently puts more pressure on him because of the talent of the guy too. But that's another story. Let's keep going. These will be quicker, I think. The Central Division: Bucks, Cavs, Pacers, Bulls, Pistons.
Bucks.
I don't know. I feel like coach firing from them. I think Cavs because they doubled down on Donovan Mitchell. To be honest with you,
I'm tied between the Cavs and the Pacers. I'm gonna stick to the Pacers. I'm sticking to the Pacers.
So you're just on
agree with
the,
either
you know, whatchamacallit, proving yourself is more pressure type of
Proving
time.
yourself when everyone's counting you out, yes, I feel like that is a different type of pressure, especially when you are moving and talking like a guy or a team that knows you belong, but no one else thinks you belong. I feel like that's a whole different type of pressure. Because when
But
you
you don't-
lose,
go
go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was about to say you don't think even the Bucks have that type of pressure in terms of everyone counting them out after the season they had last season. They're dysfunctional, Dame is ass, like all these other things on top of everything else.
One, Giannis is injury prone, and two, Dame sucks. So for me, I wouldn't view that as pressure. That's just destiny. That's just inevitability. Inevitability, if I said that word right.
I agree. I agree with Damo because honestly, I see another dysfunctional season from the Bucks.
Yeah.
That's my super early prediction. I see another Doc Rivers firing, them trying to replace a coach, and blame being passed all around. To be honest with you,
But that has nothing to do with the expectations, though, and who has more pressure. Because I could say the same thing about the Sixers. Like, I expect Joel Embiid to get injured. I ain't gonna lie. Knock on wood. Hopefully he doesn't. But
I'm just talking about from my standpoint, and that's exactly. I put them in the same boat as the Sixers. That's why I said I don't think the Sixers have the most pressure. Because to me, it's already written in stone. It's written in the stars. What's about to happen. I can see it already. So I'm not putting pressure on it. For me, I'm just looking at it as who do I feel have the most pressure? I don't feel the Bucks have the most pressure because of the situation that they're in and what they decided to do.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
they're
view
getting
the most pressure.
they're getting worse too. So, like,
are
just
they?
yeah. I mean, age is aging on them. Did they make it? They didn't make any moves this offseason. Like that were
Gary Trent, Torian Prince.
okay. Like
What's his name? Darrell,
They're
right?
looking
Not
for
Darrell.
POA defenders and shooters.
let
DeLon
me they didn't make any
Dramatic
moves that that's what I mean, one team got Paul
AJ
George.
Johnson?
Some dudes like the Sixers, not the Sixers, but the Celtics are younger. The Knicks just revamped totally. These niggas just got Torian Prince. Like
And Darvin Ham. They're not serious.
I agree with Damo on this one. To the Southeast Division, the Magic, the Heat, the Hawks, the Hornets, the Wizards. I'm gonna go the Heat, to be honest with you. I mean, this is an ass division. So
Magic, the Hawks, and who? Last one.
Magic, the Hawks, the
Wizards.
Heat, the Hornets, the Wizards.
I don't know why the Wizards are in that division. But well, I
Southeast,
guess.
I mean.
No, I guess. I'm going Magic personally. Another
I'm
situation.
leaning towards the Heat. Go ahead.
I was about to say for the Magic, since I'm the odd man out. Another situation like the Pacers, trying to prove that they are who they think they are, prove that they're ready to take them steps. And Paolo being one of the most slept on number one picks, I feel like that attitude is going to rub off on this team.
Yeah, I mean, these are different types of pressure, I guess, because I can again see where Damo's coming from. My pressure from the Heat standpoint, Bam, Jimmy is not Jimmy. It's looking like he's old Jimmy Butler's not coming through that door again. Are you gonna elevate your game to a different level? So honestly, that's more so Bam. I don't really have anything else.
I thought the pressure would be more so on Pat Riley, to be honest with you. In terms of, because he really banked on the fact that, hey, the Heat are fine. Like, we're good. We just need to run it back again, and everyone needs to be healthy. Like, they didn't really make any moves this offseason aside from drafting Khalil Ware, which I do think is going to be an impact player for them. But, if they run it back and they're another 8-9 seed going into the season, I feel like they have a lot of pressure to prove everyone wrong in terms of, yeah, they do got the right unit. It was just an off year last season. And the season prior, but whatever. It is what it is.
I feel like it's more pressure on Jimmy than it is Pat Riley, seeing how Pat had said what he said about Jimmy. or told Jimmy to shut up and dribble the way he did.
That's true too. Tyler
Jimmy-
Hero, I guess. This is a division I really don't.
Duncan Robinson.
I don't
he's under a lot of pressure.
necessarily. Yeah. That's why I said the Heat. But also, I mean, whoever comes, I don't see the Southeast making any noise. Anyway, I'm gonna skip over a couple of these divisions. We're gonna go to South and skip over to come back later because I think that there's one division in the West that there's a lot of pressure from a lot of different teams, and we really got to evaluate. Southwest Division. This is the Mavericks, Pelicans, Rockets, Grizzlies, Spurs. I'm going to go Grizzlies off top.
I'm going Pelicans.
Mad Pelicans, Rockets, Grizzlies. You said Spurs?
Yeah, Pelicans, Rockets, Grizzlies, Spurs, Mavericks.
I'm leaning towards Memphis just to see if they, it wasn't just injuries, if they're really going to bounce back for real. But the Mavs are also up there. Are they true contenders or was it a fluky run?
I think Pelicans head and shoulders. The guy you build this team around is showing he has the durability of Joel Embiid in his rookie year. And you literally were all the reports came out about what you were going to do with Brandon Ingram. What is he going to do? How is he going to look? CJ's just getting older. You bring in DeJounte Murray, who, after being in the Hawks, ruined his stock, in my opinion, because the way people are talking about him now compared to how he was talked about when he left the Spurs, night and day. Night and day in terms of his defense and the type of player that he is. So I was the guy last year saying they need to blow it up. So the fact that they double, triple, quadruple down and brought on a guy to try to be even more competitive, you have to stay healthy and y'all have to produce, because if you go out in the play-in or you go out in 4 games in the first round, bro, you're going to have even more people on my side of saying blow this shit up. Trade Zion. Give up on the number 1 pick that you traded your last number 1 pick for. Give up on Brandon Ingram. Give up on a lot of these guys and essentially start from ground zero. With the Grizzlies, at least I could say I seen last year all they needed was Ja to come back and it turned the team around. Then he got hurt along with other guys and it was like, well, damn. But you seen that hope there. I didn't see the hope with the Pelicans. I can just be a hater though, because there was plenty of people saying how great of a team they were. I can just be a hater.
No, Brandon Ingram took a step back. So I see what you're saying. Maybe this is a dare to be different one from me. I did pick the Grizzlies. A lot of teams in your conference, I think we are back on the side of the West being just, it looks like head and shoulders above the East. We're getting back into that realm. And a lot of teams have made a lot of improvements, a lot of strides. And sure, you can always just chalk everything up to, Ja Morant dipping out or whatever the case may be. But when he comes back, y'all got to make a statement, because if y'all don't next year, I don't see a path where in the next 3-4 years y'all to be any different. Like if they don't come in and end up as like a top 4 seed in the West next year, when do they ever crack that? Do they end up being their old Memphis Grizzlies selves of just kind of teetering in this range and then, But go ahead.
Can I ask, after the year that they had last year, do you think this is similar to when the Warriors had that down year where Steph got hurt and they were able to get that high pick and got James Wiseman? Like the situation to put them in where you have this young influx of talent with your core guys and you're trying to compete while also bringing along the young guys. Because when you look at the year they had, where I feel the similarities between Jordan Poole being able to have free reign and get some confidence and then become this pivotal role player for the Warriors, just like Gigi Jackson was able to come in and have this role that he would not have been able to play if Desmond Bane doesn't get hurt, Ja doesn't get hurt, Triple J plays like shit because no one else is there. What the fuck is he gonna do? Him being able to have that type of development, then bringing in Zach Edey, then bringing in other guys, moving some pieces that weren't really working, bringing in some free agents to make this team a little more competitive and deep. Do you see similarities there, or is it like a?
I can see similarities, but I would also say then that makes me want to put them in the category that I put the Warriors in a minute ago. Kind of like what what you were just saying is, we come out And these players, we're young or whatever the case may be. We got a little bit more time. But if you're underperforming, hey, we got expectations to be X, Y, and Z. We got John Moran on our team. We expect to be a top 4 seed in this conference. I don't know.
Yeah, how many years has Triple J and Desmond Bain been playing with Ja? I feel like this is coming up on, this would be year 4?
I'm about to say 4? Yeah, Ja came in 19. Triple J was already there. Did Desmond Bain come the year after Ja?
Oh, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's been in the league for 5 years.
Yeah.
Man.
I feel like if they don't make like a splash this season in terms of their success,
something's got to move.
Yeah, something got to move, bro.
You think so?
Yeah. If they're a first round exit, like, what, do you run it back with Desmond Bain and Triple J again and bank on Zach Edey or Gigi Jackson to improve? Or you may even go the route of trading the young talent. There would still be a shakeup.
Yeah, and let me say this too.
Gotcha.
Let me say this, and that's what I was saying to the Warriors example, Damo, is that it might not even be an indictment on the older players, or it might not even be an indictment on the team as a whole, because I don't think that they're, especially when they're 100% healthy, I don't think that they're bad. I'm just looking at the landscape. When I look at the landscape of the league, and we can't compete with those other guys, we got to do something, gang.
Can I ask, who are the other guys? Because when I look at the landscape of the West, from what they did this offseason and the guys they have coming back, when I look, the Clippers took a step back. I don't think the Suns they did enough to take a step up to where I say that they are just clearing what Memphis can do. The Lakers didn't do anything where it's like they didn't do anything. Now, we got to have to see if guys developed and if guys stay healthy, is it going to be a difference or is it still going to be a lot more of the same? But off paper,
Damo,
those 3 teams alone.
I'm talking about the Northwest. I'm talking about the Northwest Conference, which features the Thunder, the Nuggets, the Timberwolves. I'm looking at the Mavericks, who still have Luka Doncic. And then I'm looking at one of these other teams in y'all's division with the Lakers that says, hey, I ain't going to lie, LeBron, and I'm thinking like 3 years, 3-4 more years. I ain't going to lie, the Lakers could just pull in a guy like Trae Young, another wing guy, Anthony Davis, and then they could just make a big splash and beat us. If we can't secure being in that top 4, top 3, really competing with these guys, then I would personally feel like I wouldn't just be satisfactory rolling the dice again and again. And I'm a guy that is about consistency. I just somebody's gonna have to move so we can get better somewhere. Addition by subtraction, maybe even.
So you're thinking multiple years, not just going into this season.
Yeah. Not just
okay. I was just thinking one season, but yeah, going forward in the near future. Okay.
To the Pacific Division, we have the Clippers, the Suns, the Lakers, the Kings, the Warriors. I'm not gonna lie, my answer is the Kings. I think.
That's not a bad pick, nigga. The whole conference, the whole division, shit. Like everybody got pressure. Like it's hard to tell. Me being a homer,
the Warriors are. Wait, do this. Reverse this. Who has the least pressure on them?
The Kings.
Kings? I say Warriors too, Bezos. I say Warriors.
Yeah. What's the pressure on the Warriors? I just don't know what the pressure is at this point.
The pressure is, nigga, what are y'all doing not trading Steph Curry? Like, if y'all keeping Steph, that means y'all have to do something. And if y'all aren't doing anything, everyone's going to be on your necks about why are y'all keeping Steph. Now, I know why they're keeping Steph. Hell, I keep saying it. Nigga, it's a business. And I'm not giving up on Steph Curry. But at the same time, fans don't care about that. They are going to sit there and think you're wasting what little left of his career you have left. But
3 years,
I guess
they 3 years too late, gang. If this is the season that's gonna make you do that, you 3 years too late. That's why I think everybody has sat back in their granddad's lazy boy on this one. Hey, this is what we are. Okay.
I still feel like it's the Lakers, low key. I ain't gonna lie.
The least amount or most?
Oh no, the most. My bad.
Okay.
The most. I just feel like that team is gonna have such a crazy magnifying glass with hiring JJ Redick, with drafting Bronny. You still got Bron, you still got AD. There's still going to be some sort of championship expectations with that team. The Lakers, they still got the most pressure in that division.
I'm going with the Lakers just because I've seen when we were tanking, niggas was still wondering what we doing. Like, we were still making headlines. I've seen when LeBron was sitting there with the mean team and the young guns, people were still keeping us in headlines wondering what we're doing. As long as you got LeBron and the Lakers as a collective, they're clearing in terms of pressure, because there's not a year where you can look at LeBron, whether he's 45 or 21, where people are not going to be expecting him to perform at have a certain level of greatness and have this expectation of winning. And with the lack of moves that were made, AD still being there, it's hard for me to say anybody else has more pressure than that team.
Yeah.
Let me give a little quick shout out for the Suns, especially after the offseason where Matt and James Jones came up and was talking all that shit, and fired coaches and hired Mike Budenholzer. Y'all need to prove something to somebody, because y'all quadrupled down on this roster and quadrupled down on listening to Kevin Durant, and the rest of the guys D-Book. So y'all got to do something. And then for the Kings, for me, it's not like they have pressure to become like the first seed in the West or whatever. Their pressure is more so, again, also the landscape. Hey, everybody, we took a step back last year, and everybody else took a pretty big leap forward. Was the year before that a little fluky? Did we just overachieve? Kind of like the Hawks when they went to the Eastern Conference Finals. Like, all right, we stepped up and then we stepped back. This is the year that determines, are we a real team, or was that just like a one-off year, a fluke year?
I think in general, teams being led by like 25 to 27-year-olds probably got the most to prove. Just because you're not in that prove it age of your career like a Paolo right now or a Cade. You're not established in the league like even a Jokic at this point, or definitely like a Bron or a Curry. That's, I think, like 25 to 28. That's really when we figure out like who you really, really are. And I feel like these next 2 to 3 years, there's gonna be a separation between like the Kings, the Grizzlies, the Mavs, the Thunder. One of them is gonna flop, and I'm interested on some hating shit. Timberwolves too.
That's when you.
Like, who's gonna flop?
That's when, like I said, you're at an impasse in your career, and this is just the way that NBA careers work historically. This is, at least from my perspective, you're either about to turn and go down this path, or you're about to turn and go down this path. And one of them paths is Dwight Howard, Melo.
You're either Kobe or Vince Carter type.
Vince
shit.
Carter, Tracy McGrady. Damn, who else is in that? I don't think Joe Johnson was. Paul Pierce was facing that.
I'm about to say, or you can be Paul Pierce. I was about to say there is a tier that people are forgetting when we're talking about that between Kobe and T-Mac. It's Paul Pierce, who I feel is between that.
But again, you about to be either you gonna turn right and end up in that Paul Pierce trajectory, but you also have the trajectory of getting into that upper echelon, or if you turn left, gang. Vince Carter ain't.
There'll be stats. There'll be highlights.
Yeah. Carmelo Anthony.
Carmelo. They still be talking about, man, Carmelo can create space in a phone booth. Yeah, I mean, I guess. I guess, gang. I don't know.
I mean, and we're coming off of, and it's crazy because when we think about the era, like when we were in school and the guys we were watching who were like at that 23, 24, 25, 26 age, when you look back and see who made those turns, I mean, Westbrook, James Harden, guys like that, they took that Carmelo turn, man. Like, how many guys took that turn towards greatness? How many guys took that turn towards Kobe?
Blake
from
Griffin
that era?
took that left. Hey, and I ain't gonna lie. Kevin Durant said, "I'm not a."
I'll be damned if I'm Tracy McGrady.
I'm about to cut that mirror off. I ain't seeing out my left. Hell nah. And I respect it. I ain't gonna lie. I respect it because when we start talking, when later, 10, 15 years from now, when we start talking about Blake Griffins and stuff, we ain't never gonna mention Kevin Durant. You know why? Because he took a right.
I think a guy trying like really hard to take that right now, Donovan Mitchell, man.
He trying to take that right, man.
I don't know if you're gonna take that right though. I don't know, man. Like,
nah.
The stats, the talent is there, but
nah, he's not.
I don't know.
I think you're wrong. So I don't think he's trying to take it right. I think when he signed that contract, he officially turned left. I think that contract, him staying in Cleveland after the year we had talking about Donovan Mitchell, he can go home to New York. He can go play in LA. He can go choose his destiny. That nigga said, I'm going to stay in Cleveland? Oh, yeah. That sounds like Carmelo to me, baby. He chased that bag.
And you know what happened when he took that left? He took that left. D-Book turned around and said, "Damn, you late. Come on, man. Come on.
Damn, gang, you just got here? You just got here?
Come
I've
on,
been
gang.
here, man.
D-Book might be one that like, yeah.
He took D-Book took a left so long ago that we didn't even realize. Like, D-Book, he took an early left.
Nah, because he's really supposed to be in that conversation now with like SGA. Like, truly a top 5. He's still borderline top 10, but there's now SGA, Ant, D-Book, and then Zach LaVine took a crazy left. I ain't gonna lie. Zach LaVine took a fucking
Nigga turned to
U-turn.
Steve Francis. That nigga's-
Hey, I'm about to say, Zach LaVine shouldn't even been in them conversations anyway, okay?
Now,
That nigga
that
took
one
a
year
U-turn,
averaged 28 on like 44% 3. Hey, he was in the combos,
Hey,
but damn.
It was the potential was there. That nigga bust a U-turn at the light. We were
Yeah,
like, damn, where did he go?
His is DeMar DeRozan. His is DeMar DeRozan type of, you
Yeah,
know what I'm
motherfucker took a
saying?
U-turn, bro.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah, yeah.
dead.
That nigga got you know what it was? He played with DeMar and was like, "That's what it's like being you. I can do this.
This ain't that bad.
This ain't that bad."
They always cheering. Chicago.
Damn, you always get love in the city, huh?
Last division. We got the Thunder, we got the Nuggets, we got the Timberwolves, we got the Jazz, we got the Trailblazers. Who got the most pressure? I think the Thunder.
I'm going Thunder.
I'm
The
going
Damo
Nuggets.
reason, to be honest with you.
I'm going Nuggets.
I'm not mad at it. I'll say this: out of the big 3 in that conference, I think it's quite clear what we feel. To me, the Timberwolves definitely have the least amount of pressure. Just because Ant's still young. I know they got some older guys, but they got a lot of younger guys. I don't really care about Rudy's age. And then Cat played well enough to buy him another year in the playoffs to me.
Yeah.
But between the Nuggets and Thunder, I'm not mad if you pick the Nuggets. I'm not mad if you pick the Nuggets.
Only reason why I didn't pick the Thunder is honestly the opposite reasons of why I picked the Magic. I feel like Shea does get the love that a player of his caliber deserves. The young guys on the team does get the love, and people do have expectations of the teams after the last year they had. And they're super young, and they're like a year away from being at that point, because I have to see what they do this year now with Chet being in the second year if he's going to be healthy. J-Dub, if he's going to play his true position, or what the hell they're going to do with J-Dub, I don't know. But I feel like they're 1 year removed from being to where they actually need to prove it. As of with the Nuggets, we've all had the conversation, or at least heard the conversations of they have been regressing in terms of the key pieces to their team and their core. They've been pick that, losing this player, losing that player, losing this player. And this is the year where it's like, all right, y'all don't have none outside of Aaron Gordon, y'all don't got none of the defensive pieces that we were fearful of, and we had like y'all being that great. So what are y'all? And now people are starting to ask that about the team that just won a championship a season ago. So
Damo, and I'm sorry to cut you off. I want to piggyback off of what you said. The Nuggets to me are at, and it's crazy because they only have 1 ring, but they are already at the retool era.
Yeah.
we gotta start the era. They are at the retool era. Monte Morris is gone. Bruce Brown is gone. KCP is gone. Paul Millsap, Jeff Green, those guys are gone. Reggie Jackson, those guys are gone. All right, you still got 4 guys, whatever, 5 guys, whatever, and you're about to retool with the Peyton Watsons and the Christian Brown. You retooling.
And Westbrook.
Russell Westbrook, don't forget about him.
Okay, stop.
That's the retool.
No, stop. So the question is, and the Spurs did it. Is it gonna work with Boris Diaw, or are we about to take this backslide? Jokic just finna play great for another couple years, and then we just kind of, it is what it is. So yeah, I actually want to move mine. I agree with Damo again. I can see it for a lot of these guys. Got a lot of pressure. All these guys.
I'm gonna say a Thunder. The Thunder are pretty hyped up going into the season, and they were ahead of the curve last season. And I understand they're also a team that's technically still up and coming, but I feel like the Thunder can either be the Grizzlies or one of those dynastic teams. I don't know.
You know who's a sneaky team that has like a lot of pressure that no one thinks about until you really think about it? The Blazers. Because boy, oh boy, don't nobody know what the fuck y'all got going on. And if y'all continue to do this purgatory of nothingness but pay niggas to be ass, the Portland Trailblazers will turn into the Seattle Supersonics real fast, nigga. That is a quick hour away. Y'all will get replaced.
No,
That team, man, they will get sold quick if they continue. Give them 2 more years of being just straight bottom of the league with no
Someone
hope.
got to figure it out. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, at least the Rockets got some goon, but someone got to like stand out somehow, some way.
But apparently, and this is just from what I heard on the net earlier this week, like Anthony Simons might be on the move. So I think that they haven't even fully committed to the rebuild. Like they just haven't fully committed to the rebuild since the Dame era. Like, you know, they want to hang on to Anthony Simons or whatever. Once they get him out of there, then they could just fully take a step back and be like, okay, this is cool. But yeah, I see what you. Nah, I can't even see that. I can't see that one.
I seen the report.
I
seen the report that they were encouraging Scoot to play without goggles. I said, yeah, sell the team.
Encouraging? What if he needs them? What the fuck?
You know, but you know what? You know why they saying that? Can't what's his name? Cooper Flag is up next. Bronny James or Bryce James.
Take the goggles off.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. You know why they said that? They looking at the Olympics right now. Who on these teams? Okay.
They looked at South Sudan and was like, we can get like 5 of these niggas.
Look, that's exactly what they said. Hold on. You gave Bron 12? Okay. Okay. When you eligible? Okay. But hey, take them goggles off, Scoot.
Told him take the goggles off, increase the minutes to 48. Like, we gonna unleash the Scoot. Come on, man.
Take them goggles off, and then they went into Shaden Sharp's ear and was like, yo, Scoot wear contacts. Ain't that lame as hell? Go convince him to take his contacts out. No, Scoot finna go out there seeing 10 versus 5. He finna go crazy.
Remember Bron said he seen 3 rims? Yo, Scoot, how many rims you see? It's all a blur. I don't know. I don't know where the rim at.
Nigga said rim. What you mean?
That's why his pace be so bad. That nigga can't see the end of the court.
Yeah, he trying to get closer. He just trying to get closer, gang.
I'm just trying to see, gang. I just can't
Y'all
see.
get mad at him because he can't see.
You playing whack-a-mole, bruh.
Bruh is just trying to get closer. Y'all mad at him.
I think that's the rim. That's a shot clock, Scoot. What are you doing?
They say he takes out too close to the basket. Yeah, because he can't see.
He can't see the basket, man.
He can't see the basket.
That nigga is farsighted.
Yo.
Then during
Generational point guard.
Then during the Commissioner's Cup, okay, y'all changed the court colors up to all this neon. Okay.
My
eyes are burning. And you know the Blazers, didn't they have like that bright neon red ass court too? Oh my god!
Come on, bro. Come on.
He probably shot the worst during that stretch.
You think? Come on, bro. Y'all tweaking.